welcome, welcome. Coming back at you again, ladies and gentlemen. It's Captain Gyro once more. Got the second game of what's going to be a double header today. Well, I guess it's not really the same people playing back to back. It's two different matchups, whether you want to call that a double header or not. Don't mince words with me. We got the second game that I'm streaming back to back. Hardly any break in between. So let's have some fun with it. This one's going to be Fangs of Fire as Dracula and the legendary Mistergreen trying to catch him, bring him to justice, end his reign of unholy terror. But will he escape, or will it be curtains for Dracula? Only time will tell. So strap yourselves in, buckle up. Ready to have some fun. Okay, Dracula has picked his starting location and the game has begun. We've got Rufus Smith. Hi, Rufus Smith. He's the ally. Evil presence. It happened! It happened! It finally happened! Oh, goodness gracious. Mr. Green loving life. Can't help but laugh. Dracula's adjacent to Van Helsing. Well, you don't say. You don't say. Well, you never know. Not necessarily the worst thing in the world for Dracula, you know. It's unfortunate that, like, if you're gonna start in England like that, you're hoping that there's gonna be like a bunch of hired scouts come out, right? And they just dither around checking extremities with them, and maybe they do a psychic bond or something. You're just sitting there in England laughing. Like, that's what you want. But on the plus side, even if they know you're there, it's like, well, now what? Now they have to get everybody there. But it is really unfortunate for Fangs of Fire because, you know, on the very next turn, he was no longer gonna be adjacent to Van Helsing. And now that they know about this, they can hopefully hopefully Mr. Green can calculate very easily who to move where and how soon. You can say, oh, I have X number of days, so I need to move Seward tomorrow, and then send him to sea, and blah, blah, blah. So hopefully he can calculate all that accordingly. Then, you know, you just move your hunters into position, deal with the encounters, drive him out. Come on, who's in here? Don't be shy. Say hi. You missed the beginning, or you may have missed the beginning. It's pretty crazy. Oh, what an interesting game. But, I mean, that's what happens. That's the risk you take. You start in England, you start adjacent to another hunter. There's always that risk that you're going to see evil presence or local rumors. Just like if you were to start in Bari or something like that, or Varna or Athens, there's always the risk you're going to see hired scouts and get called out for it. But it sure is interesting. Okay, a wolf form. So Manchester, he either went on to 19 or he went on to 32. I feel like he went to 19 because then he wolf formed. Why would he wolf form if, you know, if you're in 32 right now, you just happily move to Swansea. You don't need a wolf form. Yeah. So now, evil presence. He's adjacent to Van Helsing. Okay. Yeah. Kind of tells us what we already knew. Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't matter whether he went to 19, whether he went to Edinburgh and Wolf to London, or whether, or he went to Liverpool maybe, or he went to Liverpool after Manchester and then he wolf formed to Edinburgh, or he wolf formed to London. I guess there are still possibilities there, but he's here, or he's here, or he's here. 32, 33, or 19. I mean, as Dracula, I guess you'd probably rather be in Liverpool right now, right? And then he just moved to Swansea. Then you can go to London. Then you can go to Plymouth. You throw Hyde in there, maybe. I think that would be acceptable. Then, you know, ideally, you drag one of these two guys, Seward or Godalming, you drag one of them into England. So they go up there and they start dealing with the encounters. By the time they get there, you leave by the English Channel and you wolf form into France maybe. Or maybe just move another sea zone and then land or something like that. Options. J. Harker, gonna search with that. I would think you would search. Yeah, it was Liverpool after all. Okay. So he went to Edinburgh, and then Van Helsing moved to Manchester, and then the next turn, Dracula wolf to Liverpool. Yeah, which is what I was thinking. That's better for Dracula, I would think, than having to wolf down to London. Now you can just go and walk to London. Got some trading going on here. What do you suppose they're up to? Just organizing the items. Well, we have 4 people in here? Let's go. Say hi, everybody. Welcome. Hope you enjoy the show. Ticketing for Van Helsing. Not sure. I wonder what the logic behind moving Van Helsing to Manchester was. I mean, it's working out for him. There's nothing wrong with it. He seemed like, Mistergreen seemed like he had a good reason. Like, I'm going to move Van Helsing to Manchester right now, and then I'm going to start supplying from there. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Maybe because of its central location or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure how he came to that decision. more supplying. Seward's moving. Is Van Helsing going to start after the trail, or is he going to keep supplying? Only one event. Be nice to have more events. Seems like he's having to think about it too. He's thinking about it. Do I supply? Do I go to Liverpool? You gotta assume, I think Dr. Seward's gonna deal with Edinburgh, we would think. Hence all the trading, getting him ready to go, setting him up in Hamburg. It looks pretty apparent he's gonna go and deal with that encounter. So Van Helsing is gonna block Plymouth. Okay, now I don't know if I'd have thought of that. That's pretty clever. Welcome, Jordy. Welcome. It seems as if Dracula has gone to Swansea and then to London. So Van Helsing is moving on to Plymouth in order to make sure Dracula doesn't go there. Very clever. Now, that might lead to Dracula hiding in London. Hey, Scott Sword. Welcome, buddy. Or he could be even... It's possible he's already hiding in Swansea. And that he's going to move on to London this turn. It's an interesting play from Mr. Green. Protect that spot. Protect Plymouth. Then if Dracula is as far as London, which he could be, then he can't get that final encounter down in England. He'll have to settle for Manchester instead and put it down in Manchester. And if he does that, he wouldn't be able to go anywhere. He'd have to misdirect London and turn around and go to London. Hey!
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who needs no introduction, but I'll give him one anyway. It's Scott Sword, the one and only.
Hey. I felt so bad for you the other night. You're like, my co-content needs no introduction because there isn't one. That made me so sad.
Oh, that's okay. I was only having fun. There's nothing wrong with a solo stream every once in a while.
Exactly. You can just air all your own thoughts without getting judged by your co-commentator, right?
People are in the chat, what's he going on about? Dracula can't be in Munich. He's crazy.
I'm about to boot up, so I might go. I'll stop talking so I don't go robotic. But I'm watching your stream and I see there's already shenaniganry going on.
How do you figure? Oh, with Dracula's play?
Yeah. I'm intrigued. I don't know if it'll work out for him, but I'm intrigued.
Did you see how it began? On the very
no.
Dracula put down his starting location before he even put down an encounter. And Van Helsing was in London, and I think it was Mina who drew the evil presence. And he was adjacent to Van Helsing. On the very first turn, before even a single encounter had been put down, it was revealed that he was adjacent to Van Helsing. It's really wacky. So the old England story.
Why did Van Helsing go to Plymouth? I'm so confused. That's impossible.
It makes sense actually. So Dracula started in 52, right? And Van Helsing, or no, I'm sorry, he started in Manchester, and Van Helsing moved there and found that out before he had a chance to misdirect it. So Manchester was face up right there. And then Dracula went to Edinburgh, and he wolfed to Liverpool. Then he walked to 52, and he either hid or he walked to London. We weren't sure. So Mr. Green moved Van Helsing to block Plymouth, so that Dracula couldn't go from London to Plymouth.
Oh, right. Okay, or if he somehow... did get there already, he maybe has like a heroic leap or something to hit him hard before he leaves or something?
Been there. He couldn't have been there when Van
Oh, he
Helsing
could.
moved there. He could only have been as
Oh.
far as London or Swansea with
Ah,
Hyde.
right.
So he was either in London or Swansea with Hyde, and so he moved there to block it. And then
I
now
see.
Dracula's
Okay.
either in London with Hyde or he's in Manchester.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So
If he's in Manchester, he's kind of blocked in by his two locations.
Yeah, it was actually kind of a clever move by Van Helsing.
Just to block off that space,
Exactly.
and Van Helsing's safe to go there, right? So as long as he's supplied up enough,
he had nothing to fear by moving there. There was no way Dracula could have been there, based on what we knew at the time. Yeah, it was pretty clever. So now Edinburgh's bodyguards, that's dealt with. That was the first encounter.
Mm-hmm. There's a pistol as well that he reveals. There's a stake and pistol. And the good thing is then, because you're worrying about Britannica, you don't need to stress about horse economy and horses so much.
Interesting.
So if he hasn't got it all sorted, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. Interesting that he revealed the stake when you have the rumor token on the trail like that.
Maybe Van Helsing has another one, so he doesn't matter if he gets rid of one stake, right? He'd rather have, imagine it was a hoax or something, and he wants to make sure he gets Liverpool today, or something.
What I was going to say is, if it is a hoax, that's far better, I think, is to lose the stake than to become delayed. Because if you become delayed, then Dracula's just going to do whatever he wants in England. Now he's leaving.
We got Met King and Pizza Wizard with us.
Yo, welcome everybody. He's in Cagliari. Yeah, it's possible.
He'll teleport all the way across there now.
Throwing out all that garlic. Wow, what a shopping trip. So he must have left from London with Hyde. Gotta be it. So this is great. You just have Dr. Seward finish clearing up the trail. Yeah, there's London with Hyde. You have him deal with that.
Oh, what about Liverpool? Well, I guess Van Helsing will head up to Liverpool now, I suppose.
I don't know why he went about it this way, but yeah. Got the right train. Boom.
Well, I mean, it works, right? They're dealing with potentially 3 encounters in one day, so it's good.
Yeah. Hey, if you have the right train tickets and you're in England, you have a lot of luxuries there. So do it however you see fit. Depends on how the item distribution is.
Mm-hmm. And the other two can just supply freely for a bit, which is really good for them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about England starts. They're amazing when they work, horrible when they don't. It's such a coin flip.
Right.
And if you get discovered, like you said, if you get discovered on the first day, that is just such a grim beginning of your game.
Mm-hmm. Because one of the few advantages that the England start provides is that when you eventually are revealed, they're hopefully a few steps behind, right? Like by the time they figure out that your first encounter is in Edinburgh, the only person who can deal with it at that point is Van Helsing, because everyone else is just not in position, right? But when you're revealed on the very first day, that advantage is gone now, because as Mistergreen showed, you can just maneuver Dr. Seward until he is in position, move him out, and I mean, he was able to deal with Edinburgh with a day to spare. Yeah, so it is really unfortunate for the Dracula player to have a beginning like that.
It looks like he's gonna get maybe healing from this Desecrated Soul after all. I don't know if you saw that. Seward revealed 2 stakes.
Right, because he was worried about double vamp, I guess.
Right, but what about the rumor token?
Well, you'll go get to that after. Oh, but now he's fogged, so.
Mm-hmm.
Now Van Helsing.
Oh, and
oh no,
Liverpool.
This is the London one. Oh, this is the Liverpool. Yes.
No,
yes.
this is Liverpool. Yeah. And he doesn't have a stake. They're all round the wrong way. Maybe we should have traded stakes across.
This is an example of how using the rumor token to misdirect the hunters can be really powerful.
Alright.
Now he's stuck in a night fight. Didn't expect the vampire here. Oh!
Oh, snap. Oh, dear. Yeah, Mistergreen says crap. No shit. Oh my god. That's really bad.
Someone once said the trains in England are really good because it was invented there. It's this pizza wizard. I don't know who would have said that. I mean, that's not how games are designed, based on historical tidbits like that. It's just nonsense.
But he's not wrong. With any 3 white ticket, you can go in any direction.
Yes. Yes, you can get it just anywhere in England.
Well, never mind. That actually might work out pretty well for Drax. Also means then the Discord soil is more likely to mature now. So, potentially getting up to 4 points. Seward can't get to the rumor token in time, by the way.
No, he cannot. Van Helsing's gonna have to kill this thing today or tonight, and then move in order to deal with the rumor token. Either that, or you give this one
Sack
up.
off.
But does Dracula take the 4 points, or does he layer it and force you to deal with the rumor?
I mean, Van Helsing will get a supply action today. You might end up supplying a stake. Maybe not likely. Is there any stakes in discard, by the way? No. So there are 2 floating around.
Yeah, that was a good. That was a good thing.
Pizza Wizard's comment.
It was a great Fang, because you got to figure, okay, Van Helsing's gonna run away, right? He wants to get out of this fight as soon as possible.
But there's not an ambush though, so he wouldn't get a point from it.
Exactly. That's precisely why you Fang, is because they're not expecting it. They're expecting you to mesmerize, because based on all the context, like Van Helsing wants to escape, it's kind of telegraphed that you would mesmerize, which is precisely why you Fang instead. Okay.
Oh, he landed already. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, we
Whoa.
Just been chatting away. You're right. He just hopped right over the channel. First man to ever jump the channel.
Yeah. Channel swimming record. Blimey. I mean, there's no real surprise he's there if you just land, but... Ooh.
Right. Of course. He's got to be there. But again, he drew the hired scouts, and the hired scouts tells you what you already know.
Right.
One good thing working for Dracula. Essentially just...
I mean, Plymouth would have been that terrible, because he could have then wolf formed over it. But now you can wolf him out of the half.
Yeah. You could
but then...
Plymouth, Swansea, or to Manchester.
And Van Helsing has a horse now, by the way. But you didn't know that before you landed. But Van Helsing's actually weaker than we...
Yeah, he's actually burdened by that horse, as long as you're in England.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, drawing a ticket takes a night action. And using a horse kind of doesn't, once the tickets are sorted.
Right. In the long term, it's more efficient, but you got to get there first.
That is one thing that's another strength of the England start, to be honest. Is if Van Helsing is the one stuck dealing with your encounters, he's not able to trade events at night. He can only do so much. He can't do everything at night. So it can put the hunters in an awkward spot when they have all these hunters sitting on land just saying, oh, we'll just sit here and supply, but then they can't trade the cards around effectively, or as effectively, and that sort of hamstrings them a little bit.
And also, because Van Helsing's got the lowest health pool, it makes him less, and also, not a smaller hand size. It's not like it's Seward, who has 4, right? If you have Van Helsing with 4 items, but with 8 health, you're like, oh, okay, well, it's compensated between... He has more items, he has less health, but he doesn't.
That's funny to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. Like, if Van Helsing could have 4 cards, he wouldn't be the kind of sort of weak hunter that he is.
Right.
But I love that about this game, how you have sort of the 2 strong guys and the 2 weak guys, and you have to sort of work around that.
Right.
It's not like
I don't feel like
it's not like he has 8 hit points, but he has some kind of great thing going for him. Like, yes, he can take 3 bites. That is true. So that's something, but mostly it's just he's handicapped. And so's Mina. But she also has a strength with the psychic bond, but that's also sort of just like a more.
And Van Helsing has a strength in terms of
anything.
Right, and Van Helsing has the game mechanic in terms of being able to trade events, which is just so powerful.
It's like, yeah, technically that makes him stronger, but it's also just like a necessary thing.
Right.
So, no.
But I like that you've got that dynamic between the strong and weak hunters. You'd be less interesting if all the hunters had all the same health and all the same item pool, right? You need to distribute that strength in slightly different ways.
Right. It would be boring if, say, oh yeah, Van Helsing's weaker, but to compensate for that, we gave him 4 item cards or something like that.
Right.
It'd just even out, you know? Having them be stronger in some ways and weaker in others evens out, as opposed to just having some be straight up better.
Right.
It's an important part of the game. You have to hopefully combo the stronger ones with the weaker ones when you can.
Right. So that you take advantage of the strengths.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly right. You try to maximize the strengths of each character, and then try to minimize the weak. And then it's important for Dracula too, right? That Dracula sees weaknesses in certain hunters to maybe then target them in certain ways. That's really key.
And you can even take advantage of Van Helsing's strong-willed ability. It can happen. You could be in situations where Van Helsing... I mean, look at this game right here. He threw the Heavenly Host, and it didn't necessarily work out great this time, but he knew that in the long run, he would really only take like 4 damage from that max. Like, he would get clawed, or he would get fanged and bitten. Having him going around bitten isn't like so bad. He can get in a fight with Dracula right now and not worry about having to throw a Heavenly Host out and getting fanged and dying. You know, he just has to worry about his health pool at that point. So it can be taken advantage of.
But maybe because he knew the fog situation in London, right? Maybe you don't use Heavenly Host on the first thing in Liverpool, because I'll make Dracula I'll give Dracula the choice now between maturing the Reckless for 4 points, or potentially giving that up to try and get 7, and then you just save your Heavenly Host for whatever Swansea is, if it's another Reckless, as an example. I guess the only way you probably want to use Heavenly Host against the one in London is if you're worried that Van Helsing will die, but just playing Heavenly Host it just ends the combat, then okay. But yeah, I think because there's a room token directly behind it, so it can't get out. Maybe Mistergreen mistimed the fog, maybe, before he had an extra turn. Don't know.
Looks like this one's gonna go through. Maybe, or no, he's gonna search it tonight.
Oh, he didn't even heal. What? He could have had an extra health. So this would be a little bit less worrying for him. What's he got? Weather. Excellent weather or charted carriage? I can't read it. Excellent weather. Ah, that's okay.
Okay, what's Van Helsing gonna do? Stake.
Oh, he's applied a stake. He must have... Oh, wow. That actually worked out really well for him. So he saved the stake. In hindsight, he could have staked the Reckless and then just delayed this one, but he wasn't to know what type of vampire this was.
True. Could have been a new vampire.
But I guess, yeah, okay, seeing that was the situation he was in, it makes sense then. Assuming he had stake at the beginning, maybe he just supplied the stake. Ha! No need to hide it, it seems. Yeah, if he was able to kill the Reckless with the Heavenly Host and then stake the one in Swansea, then that's best case scenario. So maybe that he was right to try the Heavenly Host then, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, and if he was wrong, Dracula only gets 4 points and the rumor token's cleared.
Right. And also the Desecrated Soil is cleared. But Dracula wants the healing, seemingly. He would have matured for 7 points. But for 4, if you can get 3 health back, it'd heal up all of the damage he's done so far. Oh, I missed a psychic scan. Oh no, I was talking. Didn't see the psychic scan. Tell me to shut up, Gyro. Did anybody in chat see the psychic scan? I could reverse your stream, I suppose. That's another way around it if no one saw it. Oh no! It must have popped up on my screen, but I was just too focused on chatting nonsense. Oh.
I don't know if there was one.
There must have been. Why did he get into me?
He isn't in Gallia, that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, did you reverse your stream?
Yeah, I just watched back through it.
Oh, he is it. Oh!
Fangs of Fire proves.
Oh! So there's only one location then?
From Le Havre, the wolf form...
Oh, no. Ignore me. I'm talking absolute shite. There are 3 locations he could be in.
He could have gone to Amsterdam and then walked to Cologne. He could have gone to Strasbourg and walked to Zurich.
Yeah, but the scan was before the last move.
Yeah.
So, wolf formed to Amsterdam, and now he's in Cologne. Or he wolf formed to Cologne, and now he's somewhere adjacent to Cologne. Or he wolf formed to Geneva.
So
my guess would be Geneva.
You gotta check Geneva, yeah.
Oh, you're splitting, going off and you're then really risking if Godalming misses, Mina then might fall on Dracula, then that could be awful.
But there's no hide card, so if he...
Right.
You either check Amsterdam with Mina. Oh, yeah, this is tricky, because you start splitting them up real awkwardly like that, and it could be tough to get them back on track.
Right. I actually like what Mistergreen's doing here. Actually, just don't panic and think, oh my god, I gotta move. Just fly.
Dracula's near us. Let's get him, you guys. Yeah. Why bother?
Why bother? We'll go and buy something.
Yeah. Let him slip away for now. Let the whole situation just defuse itself. You know, a couple weeks down the road, you'll pick him up working at a car wash somewhere in Italy or the East, and that's when you'll nab him, you know? He'll be managing a Cinnabon in Bucharest. You'll find him that way.
Have you seen the film Shaun of the Dead?
Yes.
It's like they keep saying every time there's like a really bad situation, what's the pub called? The Winchester? No, let's go to the Winchester and let it all blow over.
Let the whole thing just blow over. When I was young, there was a television show called The Amanda Bynes Show, and it was a sketch comedy show. And there was a sketch where she played a superhero called the Procrastinator, and her signature catchphrase was, "I'll get to it eventually," which is the mindset you need to adopt here. Like, he's not going anywhere. He's already wolf formed. How far away could he get?
Yeah.
51.
Especially since he had to wolf form out of Le Havre, right? It's not like he was able to walk casually to Strasbourg and then wolf form or something, right?
Right. Had to settle for
and if they've got
sort
movement,
of mediocre wolf form kind of thing. Yeah, this happens.
Right. So as long as the hounds have movement and they don't dilly dally too much, they could nab him quite quickly. I think he's got a lot of places to hide in now.
24 was probably the move. I think that's totally the move, because if Dracula had tried to, like, I mean, we know he didn't wolf form to Bordeaux because of the psychic bond and all that, but even if that had been the case, like, they could just take the trains and chase him down in Spain. They're in too good of position for that to be a good move on Dracula's part, right? Surely he's trying to go into the east or down into Italy.
Right. he'd want to put down a long land trail if possible here, because I know he's going to get some healing now because of the desecrated soil, but Rufus is in play. So he does have to be a bit careful not to suddenly take 6 damage by having to leave Iberia. Imagine they jump on him before then, right?
Right. If they were to tomorrow play Renewed Vigor, and just like damage him, and now you have to go to a port or something. Ooh, he is in Gallia. So that means he's probably in 51 right now. Or 30.
Oh, was there a stat?
Yeah, he's in Gallia right now.
I've disconnected. I'll hop out and back in.
There's the desecrated soil. Dracula's going to be back up to 14 health. Where did that... Where did his damage all come from? He went to 1C, and he he's
two wolf
twice at this point. That's right. So he suffered 4 damage, and he healed for 3.
Yeah, the early wolf form to Liverpool.
Right. We get a little spoiled on the game keeping track of these things for us, the bookkeeping and all that. Gotta watch out you don't try to play the tabletop version sometime with your friends, and all of a sudden you're kind of baffled because you're so used to the digital edition taking care of everything for you. Like, oh wait.
Right. Oh my god. Oh wait, what? He's in Strasbourg now? What?
Yeah. I thought he might have been there yesterday, but surely he wouldn't have moved.
How did he do that?
He's ambushing Reckless. Okay, I think what happened was from Le Havre, he wolf formed to 24, and then he hid. No, hides on the trail. He went to Zurich and then Strasbourg, or he went to Paris and then Strasbourg.
Yeah, that's the only way. He backtracked to Paris.
Yeah.
Because the psychic scan was when he was in Zurich. Oh, good knife.
Yeah, very good. It makes a lot of sense. He's trying to bait a fight. He still has 14 health. Get in a fight, do some damage, get away as a bad.
Gotta be really. I know, but the thing is, like, I've had games against Mistergreen before where he could just very early on do quite a lot, like, just even doesn't have to be a huge amount of damage to me, and it suddenly puts you in quite a disadvantage for the rest of the game.
Heck, even
and the thing is, right, because he didn't get ambushed while I was in Strasbourg. Fog wouldn't be great here because it's an inland fog. I know there's a lot of connections from Strasbourg. It's not like he can wolf form now. And you play Renewed Vigor tomorrow, and Seward's also chasing after you as well.
Yeah.
We know it's Geneva, we know it's Paris, so that actually tells you quite a bit about the places he can't go back to. He can't go back to Geneva. I don't know how I feel about that play.
Maybe he would have been better off. It's mesmerizes the knife. Maybe he'd have been better off just slinking away like along the trail, like Toulouse. You know, that small city trail from Geneva.
Right. So just go Geneva, Clermont-Ferrand, Toulouse. Right. I agree.
Maybe go to Zurich and then Nuremberg or Munich. Or you could even go, like, Milan to Venice. Or something like that. Because from Venice, you have the option of going into Florence or just going by sea.
Right. Go 1C, Space to Adriatic, and then go out Valona. The thing is, you can't go directly from Geneva to Milan. You could go via Marseille or via Zurich.
Right.
Which is kind of neat. It takes you a little bit. It takes you quite a long time actually to get from Geneva to Venice. Not the Hunters though. They can get across there quite quickly with a chartered carriage.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's very sneaky. There's only a rail line, but there's no road between Geneva and Milan. It's very sneaky. And then you can just slip away into Valona, and that gives you that breathing space if it's necessary. No risk of CG either, right?
Is there no risk?
That's a dead vampire right there. Oh no, what I mean is, like, if you go to Venice instead of going to Florence, then there's no risk you suddenly get CG'd randomly if they suddenly search you or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, the vampire's killed.
And the hunters have to still
And
deal with the
that
trail,
light
meanwhile you're
meter.
going east.
Being able
Yeah,
to
that's
kill
massive.
that thing. Seward's still at 5 health. Tonight he can heal. He'll be at 7. That is really efficient. Really massive swing for them. Now Mina's moving
Seward
in.
must have thrown away a state. Ooh. Well, she's revealing a knife, right? So maybe does she not have horses? Does she have a weapon as a backup? I mean, even maybe just just show him the hand. Like, who cares? You know what Godalming's got.
Depends on the tickets and the horse situation, right? Forewarned.
Oh, you could just do that.
It couldn't be any further from that. He's actually gonna just nope the whole thing.
I mean, you could just kill Dracula here, or just cripple him to such an extent
If you can
that
just put the hurt on him, get him down to like 6.
right.
I mean,
And Seward, as you said, Seward does have to deal with the vampire, so he's free now to run around and chase as well with horses. Pretty gnarly.
it's tricky though.
Yeah, just
because
looking for the screen here.
You even if he's down to say 7 health right now, let's say you hit him for 7 and then he escapes as a bat. He's a feed and a move to Castle Dracula away from being a full health again.
Right.
Which, you know, that's a lot easier said than done, obviously. But ooh,
Oh!
that's unfortunate.
Very risky stuff with Mina, but
Yeah.
good play though.
Yeah, risky.
I mean, good mesmerize. Mesmerize is a likely thing to do on Mina. Oh. Is he locked and loaded?
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Brutal. Okay.
That's
now
9
he's down
damage
to
in 1
5.
round!
Now he's down to 5.
Oh
so-
my god.
And he can't
And
even
me-
escape this round.
And Mina has a knife, so unless there's a strength or mesmerize come out, she's gonna do probably at least 3 damage to him. Oh my god.
I mean, if you both have knives, just let them rip. I say, let them both the knives rip. And if he strengths you, it sucks, but you got the chance to kill
Maybe.
him, right?
Fanging Godalming.
Okay, he'll go down to 6 for that.
He nets 1 damage. I guess it depends on what Mina plays, right? Maybe Mina's played punch to block Skip's bat, right? Yeah.
Now they can both play rifle and knife together and make sure he doesn't
Right.
escape as a bat. Yeah, these
Right.
2-on-1s
And even if-
can be so swingy, right? Like Dracula Fangs Mina on that first round, and suddenly
Different
he's
game.
laughing. It's a totally different game. But that's what makes the combat in this game so fun, I think, is how meaningful it can be, and how there can be so much on the line for both sides, and it can swing in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. And this is kind of what we were saying, right? Because they were trapped on the continent, they didn't need to. Oh god, we have to get horses. You can. Oh, he plays missed.
Ooh.
Oh my god!
Yes. Just throwing Heavenly Hosts out.
I thought he was going to play Strength to try to counteract like the Escaper's bat stuff. Thank God he didn't. He would have been a dead Drac if he'd done that. Oh my god!
Yeah, his goose would have been cooked if he tried to strength the knife, for example. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Crazy stuff. And the crazy thing too is, if he had escaped as a bat, he'd have gotten away with it. But there's no way for him to know.
He would have gotten away with it.
You have to think of, surely she's gonna throw the knife. Surely, right?
Yeah.
She has a knife revealed in her hand. And it's the escape as bat round. Like, surely she's gonna go for it. But that's the big brain thing, is anticipating, well, maybe Drac will actually throw a strength because he's expecting the knife, and then he's gonna strength right into the Holy Host. And it's very unlikely he would have fanged too, having seen the knife.
Right. Especially since if there's any time she's going to play the knife, it's that round.
Right. And you've already seen the Holy Host played as well, so it's even less likely that fanging would be a good outcome now. So really well played Holy Host, and really well played Escape as missed as well.
Also, a really critical forewarned, right? Because if she had to show him the hand, then you suddenly see she has double Heavenly Host, which kind of not renders her hand useless, but it makes her the target of everything. And if he had to discard the knife, he would have then revealed one of the heavenly hosts. And then why would you reveal a heavenly host unless you've got another heavenly host, unless you're playing a massive bait game into another knife, right? That full ward was so critical.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't want to gamble with any of that stuff. He just
and rightly so.
The secrecy was really important there.
Right. And I don't know, if Van Helsing was having to deal with so much stuff in the UK, maybe he would have traded that full wound off Mina and given it to somebody else. But in the end, that was a really good full wound.
Yeah, it worked out great.
Yeah,
also,
this game looks
in that regard. We're talking about weak hunters and strong hunters. Well, if Mina's one of the weaker ones, if you can spy her, you now make her even weaker. Either by forcing her to discard or letting you in on what she's got. And both outcomes are pretty favorable, and then you can use that information to bully her in the combat.
Right.
I tend to go with that strategy is like try to double down on whoever is already weak and make them even weaker if you can, as opposed to trying to like spread the love around, so to speak.
Right. Yeah. Just punish the one that's really weak and take advantage of it. Yeah. This is really bad for Dracula. He's taken so much damage, and he can't wolf form now for this turn and another 2 more.
It is pretty bad. I still think that Escape is Missed was probably the right call, because at 5 health it looks bad. But if you stick around one more round and get battered even more, it's like throwing away the game at that point. He could still come back from this, right? Like, maybe Godalming goes to check the wrong city, and Mina goes to check the wrong city. And now you can move again. Right? There's potential here, at least. But if you stick around in that fight, just because you're greedy for escape is bad or something, like I think you're dead.
I like the block of Munich, because it's more likely he'll head east to maybe try and get into the castle, maybe.
Right, yeah, block Munich.
And you just block that.
Combat is so much trickier for Dracula when the hunters are in no threat of dying, right?
Yeah.
When the jeopardy is there, when the hunters are worried that Dracula might kill me, then that's when they might make mistakes, or you might be able to capitalize on something. But if they can just say, "Oh, I've got 9 health, I've got nothing to worry about. Just throw my holy hosts out or whatever, throw my weapons out, what have you." That's why it's so important, I think, the way strength works. How it steals your weapons at night, because you need that element of risk for the hunters.
Right.
Otherwise,
you can't just
the combat's like completely one-sided. It's like all the risk is on Dracula.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the good thing, the way the game's designed is if you can get multiple hunters in, you only strength one thing.
Right.
It'd be BS if you could strength every single weapon played, but
Right. Even if you stop one person, you can't stop them all.
Right, exactly. But yeah, it makes 1-on-1 and 2-on-1 combat, especially if the hunters aren't very well equipped in terms of aggressive cards, it makes it so risky.
When Dracula's in a 2-on-1 combat, the best thing he can do, round 1, is turn it into a 1-on-1 combat. That makes it sense.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Fanging the heavenly host,
yep.
or clawing down somebody who's already at 4 or less, or even breaking their weapons so that the hunter is essentially neutered in the fight. Right, they're still there.
If you know they've only got one weapon, right?
Threat now, yeah.
Right,
something
right.
like that.
Yeah. So even if it's a 2-on-1 combat, in terms of the numbers, but you know one hunter is useless and maybe has items, but things like garlic and crucifix, which only do anything if you target them. You can just wail on the other one then, without any worry.
Right. Rouse so we're not really checking. I mean, Mina went and checked Cologne. I guess that's fine, because if you actually do jump onto Dracula, he's got 5 health. I don't know. He's still dangerous, though.
Maybe it's heroic leap, though.
Maybe that could be it.
If she's running around with heroic leap, maybe she doesn't care if she bumps into him.
Right, 5 health is just the perfect number.
And if he does escape as bat from Cologne somehow, well, it's not a great escape as bat location, so. This is a really cool thing. They've got basically a whole turn that they can supply up before this wolf form becomes relevant. So they can just take their time today, which is nice. Not nice for Drac, obviously, but nice for the hunter's perspective.
Now, right? Yeah, well,
right.
There we go. There's the local rumors to confirm it anyway.
Just in case there was any doubt.
Strasbourg.
Yeah, this has gone south for Drac real fast.
It could have been a very different game if he'd gone to maybe Clermont-Ferrand after Paris. But I mean, it's easy to say that now, obviously. I get the mindset with wanting to lurk, wanting to like seem like Dracula's taking a direct route away from the hunters, but really he's lurking nearby, and that way you can get into a fight and escape as a bat. I like that strategy a lot. But yeah, there's a lot of inherent risk involved if you get in that nasty 2-on-1 and it doesn't go your way. But it's about managing risk and reward, right? Like the fight happened in Strasbourg. If he had gotten away as a bat, that's not too shabby a location to do it from.
No,
it could be
pretty good.
Better, but it's not bad. I think what you want to do is, I mean, you want to get in the fight when your wolf form location is your current location. That's tricky, but it can be done, right? So if he had from the Harv, if he had instead just wolf formed straight to Strasbourg, and then maybe hid. I forget when Hyde fell off the trail, but maybe he could have done it that way. Oh no, right. If you
it would have been before English Channel, before Hyde.
That doesn't help anyway, because if you hide, you're only clearing Hyde. So forget that I said that. But if you're lucky or fortunate or galaxy brained enough, you can potentially provoke the fight while you're on the wolf form still, and then escape as bat, clear the wolf form. Right. Again. But Mistergreen might be a little too slick for tricks like that. To be honest, if that ever happens, it's because the other guy lets you get away with it. You know, that's the onus is on the hunter player to not try to jump on Dracula the very same turn that he wolf formed, because you're just asking for that exact scenario to happen.
Unless it's a massive renewed vigor play all in or on one,
right.
or something like that.
Yeah, if you're
right,
but
1-on-1, that's scary. Yeah,
maybe he wolfed here.
Scary.
I'll just move somebody onto it and find out. No, not a good idea.
Oops. Now he's got to worry about the wolf form, but he's supplied up now, and that's probably more scary for Dracula, to be honest. I mean, Dracula can still win. We've seen crazier things happen, but he's going to have to work incredibly hard to win. That's why Mistergreen has like a huge advantage. No trail, no rumor token for a bit.
And it's so crazy, because if Dracula had fanged Mina in that fight, if he had been lucky enough to pull that off, she would have not only been defeated, but lost 2 heavenly hosts, and I think a fast horse as well. Or no, a knife.
Yeah.
A knife.
Knife. 2 events. I think one of them was Long Night, but still.
Yeah. I mean, he'd have been laughing. And then you sit there and you mesmerize and strength Godalming until you can escape as a bat. So yeah, there's just...
Has he just done the really obvious thing? He's now in Vienna.
Strasbourg, Nuremberg, Vienna. I mean, it's kind of where I would have gone. Because it's not like you can use Geneva anyway. If you go to Zurich, that's basically
Right.
giving up the game, I feel like.
I mean, it can't be the fact that Milan and... Well, he could have gone Zurich, Munich, and he's now in Venice, but, oh man, taking more sea damage, that's really what you want to avoid.
Was in Munich last turn.
Oh, was he? Oh, right, because that's
Yeah.
impossible then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he backtracked. I would have checked Vienna.
Yeah,
I think I would have checked Vienna now rather than Milan. I wouldn't be worried if he's going down south. I'd be worried if he's going east and he somehow gets into the castle.
Yeah, you got to protect the castle.
Unless there's a CG.
I agree.
If there's a consecrated ground, that's a different story.
Nuremberg.
You block it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would that have cleared? No,
Well,
that would have cleared
prize.
Nuremberg. Right? So
yes.
Vienna would
still... Oh, yeah, whatever's after Strasbourg. It has to be Nuremberg, right?
Yeah.
Right. I like Sud's position, though. He can go and check Vienna very easily.
If he did go to Prague, he could be hiding there, but now he has to move right now. So that would put him
hiding in Prague would be so risky.
Right, but the point is that Seward can just check Vienna and not have to worry about, well, what if he's hiding in Prague? I'll jump right over him.
Oof.
Doesn't have to worry about that. He could just check Vienna, and then, but he is going to check Prague anyway.
Oh! And he's not there.
So that means he's not in Vienna
what?
either.
So he's in northern Germany then?
So, yeah, Frankfurt perhaps was cleared from the trail, and the space after that is Leipzig or Cologne.
So, Leipzig, Hamburg, Cologne, Amsterdam. Is he trying to go back to Le Havre? It still has a rumor. He might be trying to go back to Le Havre.
Yeah, but he has like no health, with which to do anything after that. Well, 41 would have been cleared if he did go there. Unless
I bet he's in Brussels now.
It's possible he went Frankfurt and then Nuremberg, and so Nuremberg would have still been on the trail. So it makes some sense to check it. You think he's in Brussels?
I bet he's in Brussels, and he's going to play his big power play move, and he's going to go to Le Havre and basically tell the Huns, look, I'm here, and none of you can reach me.
So Mina checked Cologne, though, didn't she? Yeah, so Dracula would have had to go Strasbourg, Frankfurt.
Did she check? Oh, she did, didn't she? Yeah. Oh, maybe not then.
Dracula,
oh, he could be in Cologne now, though. And he
Wolfholz
to the lair.
Dracula goes to Cologne, yeah. And then tonight,
so
Dracula's going to move to Brussels, thinking he's being, like, super clever, and they haven't figured it out.
Van Helsing could get onto Brussels, as can Mina.
Can Van Helsing get onto Brussels?
Yep, via Strasbourg.
Oh, with a fast forward. Oh, right. He's revealing it. He's still bitten. Where's the blood transfusion, Mr. Green? Come on. Heal up that poor old man.
Ironically, Van Helsing has it.
And ironically, he needs
Van Helsing has it. He can't use it.
That's too funny. You'd have to trade it off. But also, I mean, he needs it less than anybody. If he gets bitten again, then maybe you give him a blood transfusion. But honestly, him having a bite token is so not a big deal. And you play around
Fangs looking to...
as Mr. Green has this game. You play around that with Van Helsing. Don't just play in such a way to where, worst case scenario, I get a bite token. That's why guns are so great for him.
Oh, did he... What's he done? Did he hide in Frankfurt? He's now in Cologne, and he's pretending to be on a port.
Maybe. We're gonna find out soon. It wasn't Zurich.
What is going on? Mr. Green, you gotta go to Frankfurt. He has to be in Cologne now.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Unless he's in Strauss when he's going to wolf form. Oh my goodness, what is happening? What is happening? How did he do that?
He went from Strasbourg to
Oh!
Frankfurt, and then Frankfurt he went to
Oh, and
Leipzig.
I bet he then hid in Frankfurt.
Or,
No,
no,
I bet
that's a
that this
ghost
card on
hide.
the trail is a hide.
It's a ghost hide.
Oh my
He
goodness.
went to Frankfurt. Frankfurt got cleared, but the hide didn't. Then he went to Cologne.
No way.
Yeah. You're totally right. It's ghost hide. That's hilarious. Spooky.
Oh. Okay, so it's not Brussels. It has to be Amsterdam or Hamburg then. Oh man, he let him slip through, eh?
And now he's at 8 health.
Oh, if he goes back to the UK, he's got 2 layers to go back to, one of which is rumored.
Dracula is capable of such rubber banding. You get him all the way down to really low health, and then he just like bounces right back into position like he's Stretch Armstrong or somebody.
I mean, he's not going to be able to feed anytime soon, though. That's the problem.
No,
that's his
he's
only
gonna
feed.
have to go to sea most likely, and Rufus Smith is still there. All those things are true, but it is, you know, it is. It's
I mean, he
bad
could
when
get away
goes
with only
from 5
doing.
to 8. Yeah, he could just go.
I mean, he could get away with one sea space. Oh. Well, if he's going to get desecrated soils, that's also very good for him. But then what happens if there's a consecrated ground? He's then screwed. Do you risk the consecrated ground?
I mean, he has a wolf form. But, yeah.
Goes English Channel, wolf forms to Swansea. Puts down a double vampire for them to deal with.
That's
nope, doesn't have it, because obviously Mina's got the last one.
Mina has a third Heavenly Host.
But yeah, because Van Helsing, his one got bitten, and then she used one, and then she's got the other one, because she revealed it when he escaped his miss, right?
Yes. That is good memory. See, that's what is so fun about.
And who used Excellent Weather?
Is trying to play that memory game. I don't remember who used Excellent Weather. Maybe it was just discarded.
Must have been Seward, right? Seward to Edinburgh?
Yeah, it must have been all the way back then. That makes sense.
Because it's kind of scary, because if he can get back to these layers, he can throw down, like, double rumour. Like, triple encounters or double encounters in Liverpool and Swansea.
Those are both rumoured.
And how is Mistergreen going to deal with that? And then by the time if they mature, it's then 4th week.
You land in Plymouth here, then you go to London, and then you go Swansea.
Oh, man, that's risking consecrated ground so much, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
But maybe you have to do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Otherwise,
you're
just screwed.
Yeah, the hell with it, because if I respect CG too much at this point, I'm cooked anyway.
Right.
And maybe just take the gamble.
If you discover him in English Channel, do you use CG to block him from going into Swansea? So he can't even go back to the lair. You just use it preemptively.
He's not in the English Channel.
No, I mean, if he goes to the English Channel, I mean.
I think if he goes to English
If he moves one more sea space.
What's his health going to be at? 4.
4 plus then wolf form down to 3.
I think if he goes to English Channel and his health goes down to 4, I think you CG him. Because then he has no choice but to go to the North Atlantic, and his health is going to be down to 2.
Right, so what's he going to do? He's going to land in Galway or Bordeaux?
And if his health is down to
so maybe...
2, yeah. Worst case scenario, he goes to Galway. Or wolf forms to Santander. Right? And then you'd be down CG, but you could maybe just rush people to Ireland to finish the job, or...
Maybe what you could do is you could use the Heavenly Host on the English Channel ports and put the permanent one either in Bordeaux or Galway. So he moves to North Atlantic, and then one of his routes in from the North Atlantic is blocked permanently.
I say you CG Galway, and then you Heavenly Host, London, and Plymouth. And if you do all that,
Right.
then you're good. And that he's forced to just land in Le Havre or go to North Atlantic and then land in France.
Right. Right. And if he does Wolf Form to Santander, but you're going to be sending all of your hunters down there anyway, and he's hopping around on 1 health.
Yeah, and you're on the train. You're on the best train line in the game, the one that goes from 7 to 31.
Right. Right. You just surround him, force him out to sea, do whatever you want. The timing is the issue because it's 3rd week. If he can get back to those layers, he has a chance. Because I think the hunters will be very slow to get over. The deck has only just reset, so are they going to get the stakes they need to deal with all those vamps? His deck's reset, so you might get those vamps back. Okay, he's getting rid of the Heavenly Host, but he's not giving him the health, but he's giving him card draw. Mistergreen's been caught in situations like that before. I remember in the very first league, back in the day, we played a game where I threw down 2 Heavenly Hosts late. He dealt with one with a Heavenly Host, and then chose not to deal with the other one. And afterwards we were talking about it, and he said, "Oh, I didn't want to give you more cards, because I didn't want to give you fog." Then I said, "Yeah, but by you not getting rid of the Desecrated Soil, you gave me the health I needed to keep moving, and then Consecrated Ground wasn't a concern." Oh, he's wolf formed.
3 health can be really big for Dracula.
Yeah, especially late game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Late game, yes. When he starts to run out of options, and then all of a sudden he gets 3 more health, and now he has more options. He could go another sea zone. He can do another wolf form, something like that. Or maybe even just suffer.
Right.
One
My
more
prediction
hit of
here.
damage.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they block CG so he doesn't land. He's still able to move 1 more sea space. Or something. My prediction is here, if hunters have CG, this is GG. And so if they don't have Consecrated Ground, Dracula wins. He's going to go to all these layers and lay down horrible stuff, feed just in time, and then leave. And then suddenly hunters are like, oh my god, what do we do? How do we deal with all these rumor tokens? Especially if then the thing before Cologne matures and it's a vampire.
But what if he pulled a pizza wizard and he just wolfed straight to Berlin?
Well, you just throw the CG down in Manchester and then just throw all the Heavenly Hosts around Berlin, and it'll tell you one way or the other eventually.
Right, because you could just CG hotel if he landed short of Manchester, if he's in Edinburgh, right? You
right.
don't need to worry about Heavenly hosting Edinburgh. Yeah. You just put the CG token down in 35. If nothing's revealed, then you put the rest down.
Oh, he's only got 1 Heavenly Host, though.
Yeah, in
Germany. He's only got 1.
That's the thing I've been thinking about this whole time. Is he's only got the 1 host, right? Because Van Helsing lost his and Mina used hers. That leaves 1. Hey,
so do you then...
And he just said the same thing. What if Dracula's just wolf formed back to Germany? Now that's on everybody's mind since Pizza Wizard made the dream a reality.
Right. Oof.
I think he's thinking about renewed vigor.
I mean, if you've got Consecrated Ground, you just supply with everybody to try and get the Heavenly Hosts. You might get lucky and draw 1 of them. Yeah, because even a CG in Manchester isn't great here. Well, it would be good if you have a second Heavenly Host. You do Manchester, Liverpool, London. He's forced back up to Edinburgh, and then you're stuck, trapped behind the Hotel Consecrated, right?
Yeah, it would be just terrible to play the CG. The token goes down in 35, and you reveal him there. It is renewed vigor, okay. You reveal him in 35, and then what? You put down your Heavenly Host token, and he just goes to the other city, either 32 or 33. So that would be so unfortunate.
Well, I guess with renewed vigor now, you can check Brussels, you could check Berlin. So if you've got CG, then you know, oh right, I can maybe put the permanent one in Swansea? Or no, permanent one in Liverpool.
Liverpool? Keep him from going to Irish Sea?
Yeah. Oh, what?
Oh, speedy telegraph for the psychic bond. Eliminate 7 and 27.
Oh.
Eliminated 7 and 27.
What?
We still have the possibility of Brussels.
Right. Can you imagine he's in Brussels now?
Just check.
Oh, wow.
The hired scouts.
What a pull that is.
Manchester.
Oh my goodness.
And surely he's got the CG, because if he didn't have the CG, he'd be chasing after Dracula at this point, right? You'd have no choice.
Yeah, you'd be positioning to get, like, into English Channel port, go across. Well, I mean, there's a layer there, but you're gonna have to risk it, aren't you?
You simply have no other option. You can't just sit around and say, well, maybe he'll leave England and come back, and we can get him then. You're gonna lose by then. It's Thursday, week 3.
Right.
He's just gonna slink around England a few turns and then leave and go to, he'll score 6 points in Ireland at the very least.
Oh, that's such a good saboteur. Oh my goodness. Maybe he doesn't have CG then.
That is a.
Oh, what is happening? Can't be CG nuke unless he gets very lucky with his supplies. That would have to be some wizardry if he gets the missing.
What if Van Helsing did have the CG and now he can't play it tonight because he's delayed?
Oh, no way. Oh, that'd be so risky to go to Le Havre. Imagine if it's bats or something. I mean, I know Saboteur is a weak version of bats, but it's still as good in a situation like this with renewed vigor.
Well, you want to.
Wow.
You want to get Van Helsing in a relevant position, right? Like, you're not going to CG till night, so what do you do with your day action? Cut Dracula off, right?
I wouldn't risk stepping on a layer.
And a nasty one, but
we haven't seen any bats, I don't think. It could be bats, another fog. I mean, Saboteur sure would also have the same effect here. Oh, wow. If Van Helsing has Cosmic Ground and he's missed the opportunity to play it this turn, that's a huge misstep.
Saboteur of the year.
And also, by the way, the thing before Cologne's going to mature... Oh, no, it's a hide card. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we assume it's a hide, unless somehow we've miscalculated that. Oh.
We have that right, I'm sure of it.
Mistergreen must have realised it was hide.
It couldn't have been Leipzig, right? Leipzig was checked, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh. Trading? Is that trading the Heavenly Host?
It's Mina and Godalming. What are they trading? But then who plays the CG? Mina or Seward, maybe? Maybe Seward's whole.
Seward could have it.
Yeah.
Seward's got 3 events. Mina's got 1 event.
One who can hold a CG.
Who's trading here? Well, hang a minute. This could be Mina trading and Godalming has it.
It's Mina and Godalming trading items, yeah.
Oh, right. So Godalming's got an action. Maybe Godalming has it.
Mm-hmm. Still got Godalming and Seward left to take action. It is interesting, the question of, like, who do you put the CG on? Because Van Helsing's usually safest, but if he does get into trouble, he's...
Oh, he doesn't have it. Oh my god.
Fangs of Fire just let out a huge sigh of relief.
Holy hell.
Wow, that's huge for Dracula right now.
That's insane. Maybe Amsterdam's the other fog. That is some risky stuff, but he was in a really dire situation. Sometimes you just have to play the risk, I suppose.
Now I'm wondering if Van Helsing has the CG at all, or if it's in the deck. Still 40 cards in the event deck. I mean, that's...
Right.
Pretty...
Right.
I mean,
below half.
Not to say that he hasn't done a great job supplying and everything, but there's a lot of cards still left in there that it could be sitting around in.
I think Dracula potentially wins now. Well,
I think there's a lot of room for him to win now. A lot of potential.
Yeah. If Seward has another excellent web to get across and he has at least 1 stake, I think he might, with Van Helsing, might be able to mop up this trail.
Because now... Now you can just have Dracula move to Liverpool, and that's a lair. Doesn't have a rumor token on it.
But he can... Oh, you're right. He used the rumor in Manchester.
But here's the
I thought he
thing,
would have...
Scott Sword. Does the rumor even matter? If you mature a Reckless and get 4 points, you're up to 7. Then you're at 10 and 13.
Potentially...
Yeah, I mean...
It might, depending on how many C moves you have to make, you might literally just have to... I don't know. Maybe.
Well, oh, right. Manchester's already rumored, so that could be a vampire. And if it's
right,
not,
he's doing it to get it quicker.
It could also be a bats, in which case you could bat somebody into Liverpool, and then they have to fight like a Reckless vampire and maybe a second or even a third one.
At night, or you push them away from from Liverpool, so then you guarantee the mature of Liverpool.
Get the 4 points, yeah.
Right, I guess it depends on the timing.
If somebody ends up having to deal with Liverpool, that's really bad for the hunters, I think. If they have to rush somebody to Liverpool and go, we can't let this 4-point Reckless vampire mature because that'd be really bad. Meanwhile, Dracula's going to sea, he's getting away. They're dealing with a double vamp, probably.
But if he's unable to feed in time...
5 points.
Right, but if he's unable to feed in time, he's going to be on such a low health once he lands. I mean, I don't think I verbalized it, but as soon as I saw the Liverpool thing and Swansea, I was like, is he going to go back there? I think maybe Mistergreen... I mean, I was worried about him going east as well, to be honest, but I think maybe... I mean, he moved Seward to Berlin, but just escaped around him. Maybe he had to try and cut off the ports first and think, well, even if Dracula does go east, I'll outrun him, because I've got movement, but I can't let him go to sea, because that's when I have, not a movement disadvantage, but it's equalized.
It's really difficult for me to say where Mistergreen may have gone wrong here. He got Dracula in a great fight, dealt him a ton of damage. Didn't quite get the follow-up hit, but regardless, he forced Dracula to sea in the following few turns.
Right.
But Dracula's been just managing to not quite get pushed all the way onto the back foot. He's pulled off his feed before he had to go. He only moved 1 sea trail.
Oh, he has a second X in weather.
Ooh, that's big. That's big here.
That's potentially game-changing. If he can get over here, if Dracula feels pressured, he can't feed again. Can you imagine? Imagine another renewed vigor comes out now. You could get 2 hunters on it, and even if it's in Swansea, where there's 2 encounters, maybe you don't care and you just charge in with 2 hunters.
But if you're Dracula, do you just play the hide card right now? Because then you're gonna have to fight Seward, but you're gonna be standing on top of 3 encounters, and one of them's a Reckless.
Right.
But if there is a
Depending on how
vigor, then Van Helsing lands, and maybe he also gets there too. But again,
right,
3 encounters, but only 5.
Maybe
health.
maybe with just 2 hunters, if they just have enough stuff, maybe they can brute force their way through those 3 encounters.
Yeah, we don't
and
know
then
what
just
they are. Only Dracula knows that, and that makes a big difference here. Because if they're great encounters, maybe you stick around.
Right.
If they're only so-so, maybe that's not worth it.
It could all be a ruse as well, right? We've seen baits before. I mean, we know one of them's a Reckless vampire. We don't know what the other 2 are. We haven't seen bats either. Maybe put a bats in because maybe he's expecting a renewed vigor, and he can push a hunter out. Would he have a second renewed vigor?
That would be kind of crazy. Somebody lands on him with renewed vigor, and then he bats them, and they take their next action, and they're batted away.
Yeah. Ooh. What do you do about Amsterdam? Do you let it mature? Do you deal with it? Do you keep supplying with the other 2 on the mainland? Tough choice.
Yeah, this is really tricky. If only Dracula had like 3 less health. But
Because that's the thing, right? They can brute force their way through these encounters, and if they got heroic leap, they just need. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the hunter who does it just needs 1 hit point.
Yeah, if you have 1 health left, you can just heroic leap him. Exactly. That's the same thing. Now he's gone on to Swansea. There's less encounters there. There's only 2 and not 3. Is Dracula trading quality for quantity, or is he simply making a concession in order to keep moving?
Right. I guess he's also thinking, if he somehow does survive this turn, now the hunters have 2 more encounters to deal with, plus a rumor token.
He's got a lot of insurance right now.
Right. So if Dracula survives this turn, and even if he goes to sea, the hunters have so much stuff to deal with, and very little time to deal with it. There's no renewed vigor.
Nope. So
this is the problem. No.
Dracula's going to go to sea tonight. Then he's going to be down to 3 health.
Right.
And he's just going to land in Dublin, right?
Unless they... Oh, fog. Also was.
Of course. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. He was in quite the precarious point right there.
Unless they have obtained CG since. So when he goes to Irish Sea, they heavenly host
both cities
Dublin,
in Ireland, and then he's cooked.
CG Galway.
Yep.
So he's forced to get into Northern Ireland with 1 health, and then has to go onto the mainland without wolf form.
Well, if you have CG now, you wait for him to land in Ireland.
Will he land in Ireland, though?
Let him go Irish Sea, and then if he puts a land
I guess
card down,
yeah.
you CG him in Ireland. And if he doesn't put a land
card
down, then he's in the North Atlantic. And at that point,
I guess
he's
then
only
you CG
gonna
him.
have 1 health left.
Right. Maybe that's what Mr. Green's thinking. Maybe he suddenly obtained it now, or he's playing the long. Maybe he had it and said, "Oh, I can't CG him well now. I'll supply up for the Heavenly Host and CG him later."
I'll lull him into a false sense of security, get my CG situation more proper, ignore all these layers with rumor tokens because none of them will make any difference by then.
Maybe just stake Manchester just in case, depending on timing and things.
Right. That would be kind of crazy. But I mean, it's not completely far-fetched, you know? Just because Dracula could be CG'd doesn't mean that the right move is to play your CG.
Yeah.
Sometimes the right move is to have the patience to look into the future and say we can get him later with it.
Right, especially if it's going to be a really inefficient CG. Like, a CG token and 1 Heavenly Host while he's in Manchester is useless. Right. But now, it's really strong, because he goes an island, or he moves 1 more sea space, and you really push him in the direction... Even just 1 Heavenly Host token, because you just... CG Bordeaux, Heavenly Host in Galway, he's forced into none, with no wolf form. You're gonna have 2 hunters collapsing on him really fast.
If you have Heavenly... If you have CG right now, and Dracula lands in 18, you win. If Dracula goes to North Atlantic, you also win, because you can CG all 3 of his ports that he can land at.
Right.
Both the ones on the French coast and Galway. And he's dead.
So he's only moved these 2 hunters over to basically force Dracula to fall off the UK or Britannica. Now, instead of him just going, "Oh, no hunters are here. I'm going to hide here and I'm going to feed and do whatever."
Right. You have to make him play the game on your terms, drive him out, and put the fear into him. Now, once he's back at sea, you can drop the whole charade like you were really going to get him at all. and just play the CG.
The fact that Seward is going nowhere near Manchester here makes me think he has it. That's what, unless he doesn't have it and he's like, I need to really quickly dig for this card.
I need to get it now. Just dig.
Because if he lands in Dublin and they don't have it and he moves to Galway, then he's safe.
But he could move. He could move to Dublin tonight, and you could spend 4 actions tomorrow supplying. And
Right.
one of them's a Dracula card, but the other 3 might get it. And then if any of them get it, they can play it that very same night.
Right. And they're all in big cities, so
Right.
the chance of them drawing the heavenly host they need is more likely as well.
He's nice applying instead. I don't know if that's a good idea. Because there's still a chance you could get it tomorrow. What if you end up getting him unearthly or something?
Wow.
Or if it's Darkness Returns, then that's 4-day supplies you're giving up. There's a draw.
Oh, man.
No. Just you can only hope it's just not a good one. It's custom search or something. Yeah.
Right. It was one you could play immediately, I think. I think it was a play immediately. Or maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Another one.
I don't think he can't have it then. If he's desperately digging so much, he can't have it then.
That definitely telegraphs he doesn't have it. Now Dracula moves to Dublin, almost for sure. And without misdirecting Swansea or Liverpool, that means he's giving total confirmation that he's definitely in Dublin if he does that.
Right. So what do you do then as Drac? Do you move one more sea space and hope they don't draw CG, or do you land now and hope they don't draw CG today?
Depends on what your
I guess it's irrelevant, right? I think you land.
I think you land, and then... Oh no, he's moving. He's going down to 1.
Whoa.
Oh, he's like, I don't feel so good, Mr. Van Helsing. Get a little seasick.
Oh, road blocking the Manchester thingy.
Now does that...
Oh, it's going to be... He's going to land to...
Unearthly or
No. No, he's blocking... Godalming. Why? He's in fog. What is happening? What is happening? Why are you roadblocking him? Unless you got a second roadblock he's going to use.
That is a little odd.
What is happening here? You don't misclick that badly, surely. Oh, now he's waiting to place a 3rd token.
One thing I like, Scotsword, is if you click on Dracula's portrait at the bottom left, click on his name.
Yeah.
And it pulls up the character sheets.
Yep.
If you scroll over Dracula's character sheet and pull it up, and it shows you his rage, his pride, fear, Dracula, his image in the portrait actually reflects his current state as far as his health.
Oh, that's so cool. I've never seen that.
See how his face is all damaged? Yeah, pretty neat.
Oh. Why not Dublin feed? You can, but then the problem is you're risking
another turn of
CG another day. You have to keep moving. Whereas feed here doesn't save you from a CG like pool or whatever. You see, now, you feed in Galway, but not in Dublin.
You have to
but he hasn't done
hopefully get the CG today.
Right.
And then
I would be.
I mean, there's still a lot of chance here because if he lands in Galway, I don't know if he can win the game off of that with 1 health.
If Manchester matures, yes. Assuming it's not a fake vampire.
Yes. Okay. That's
true. He has to make 2 moves. He has to make 2 moves to make that happen, right? And he has to land today. What is happening here?
What are they
Why are you using good luck? This is inconsequential. What is happening? He's in fog. What is happening here?
What is going on?
What was the thing he moved? Was it something blocking Mina?
Maybe what happened, Scotsword, was he misclicked the roadblock to begin with, right? He didn't mean to activate the roadblock card. He meant to end his turn. And then, like, the card came up and it prompted him and he clicked it. And then once he had it, he was just like, I'm just going to throw him down for a laugh. That's just
No. You know, he used 2 of the roadblocks. Like, he used one of the roadblocks to block the rail, I think, between Cologne and Brussels. That's a good use of roadblock because Mina could use it. But then I would have blocked all the other rail lines down the line. So if she gets rid of one of good luck, she still can't move.
Okay.
Gadami's trapped in fog. He can't get out of this. Yeah. And this one. And the one after that.
Problem, though, if Dracula has unearthly swiftness or darkness returns now, he'll win. Because you won't.
No, but he hasn't. He's used up his 2 events. That's the problem. He used hidden schemes, which makes no sense to. Roadblock and hidden schemes.
It was hidden schemes. I didn't see the hidden schemes. Okay.
You wouldn't want to do that. You want to try to like make Dracula panic that you want to make the hunters panic that you've got something really good and not just throw them down.
Yeah, you keep.
This hidden schemes is inconsequential.
Scare.
Right.
Are they both like
this
losing it?
Maybe. I don't know.
What good lucks and like.
I mean, the good luck makes sense because she was able to charge a carriage down to Bordeaux, which is good. Which is good, right?
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Right. So it's. Well, okay. I guess the roadblock does make sense because now Gadaming's free of the fog.
Okay. And he was
but one of the roadblocks is inconsequential, so you just only have to block the one between Brussels. Oh, he's still supplied. That means he doesn't have it. Oh my goodness!
So
what is happening?
The roadblocks then indicate that he's trying to land in France.
Oh my god! What is happening?
Oh no! What if it discards CG?
I mean, it happened in the other game with Burt Marley the other day.
I guess it wouldn't make a difference in that case because you wouldn't have gotten it anyway. But the thing is,
of course you would have done.
Well, maybe depends on how much time you have left here.
No, it discards from the top, right?
Yeah.
If you get rid of Manchester.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
That's not great.
What is going on? No, he didn't get rid of it. It actually makes it more likely he has it.
How many does Emmanuel check?
6. He obtained 3 and discarded 3, but neither of them were consecrated ground.
Right.
But imagine how he has unearthly swiftness.
What if that actually milled the deck enough so that they
to make it easier
get the consecrated ground? And
right. That's what I was just saying.
Time is fired from being Dracula's lawyer.
It's actually probably the worst card you could have obtained, unless you discard the consecrated ground.
Ever. You screwed me. That would be too crazy. Everything's all topsy-turvy.
Let's try and plan out turns, right? So if he lands in, let's say he does the Galway thing, right? So that Galway's up to 6 points. Dublin up to 9. Hyde 12. But then
you've got
if Manchester dealt. No, but then if Liverpool matures, you get the points. It'll mature in time.
Right, but like assuming they were to tackle all that stuff, you would have to land and then.
You have to deal with Manchester, but then that's giving them more turns to supply consecrated ground, and they force you off before you can do any of that.
Right. I mean, obviously,
or do you
drag it out if you didn't have to?
No. But he's not. He's not dragging it out. He's making the most. I mean. You having to hope that one of these things matures in Britain, plus he's able to move 1 or 2 spaces or 3 spaces, depending on what the thing is that matures. Imagine there's a vampire lair gets thrown in, bombs of his consecrated ground. Does he land beside Mina to try and bait her into a really bad fight? Does he have heroic leap?
Let's just say,
there's so many things.
For craziness' sake, let's just say that Seward and Van Helsing are able to deal with all 3 of these spaces.
Oof, that'd be. I mean, the fact now that Van Helsing's down to 5 health, I don't think so.
Let's just say, for argument, none of that's going to mature. And Dracula's going to have to score all of his points by Fury of Dracula.
That's going to be 1 health?
He would go to Galway right now and go up to 6. Then he would go to Dublin and go up to 9. Then you would feed, so you can be at 4 health. Go to sea.
Feed Irish Sea. Then you get CG'd, and you get... I don't know.
But there's
Manchester has
no
to get dealt
way
with.
That they could deal with all that stuff and also get the CG. Is there?
Well, I guess
Dracula's
no.
gonna slide the
Yeah.
trail first. Dracula's gonna slide the trail first before he has to suffer any kind of CG error or penalty.
Oh, he just got rid of a heavenly hose. I guess if he's already holding one,
Yeah,
then holding a
yeah,
second
yeah.
one's useless.
Yeah. But
Oh my god! But they need to do a Manchester. Someone has to move on to Manchester today.
yeah, because even if you did draw CG, Manchester will mature before any of that happens. Because of the house rule, which is actually
Well,
the
that'd
real
be
rule.
that would be okay if he's on island because you'd be forced off island. You take the penalty damage, so he would go up to no, he'd mature it. You need vampire lair to stop it. Oh my god!
Well, he would if it's a new vampire, he'd actually only go up to 12. And then all of a sudden,
Okay.
consecrated ground is a huge issue for him. But if it's a reckless or an aristocratic, oh my god!
Well, what was if he's beside me?
I
And what was if he's beside Mina and he fogs her?
Oh my god, you're just going a mile a minute, Scott Sword. I can barely address one scenario, and you've moved on to the next one.
That'd be the. I think he's in non because that I think is the safest scenario, right? Because you can't CG him to an extent that would be,
yeah.
especially if he's throwing away.
What do you do?
Look at Mistergreen.
Oh my god, he's calling the shots. He's like 8-ball in the corner pocket right here, Scott Sword. This man.
He hasn't written GG yet.
This is just like we were saying the other day, Mistergreen with the early GG.
Oh my god, he says Seward has lair and CG.
He's just saying
No,
it right in the chat.
What? No, what is going on? No, but then there's a.
He's like
No, but you need to.
He's like
You need to check non.
He's like some
Oh
anime protagonist who's sitting here like, I've already defeated you and you didn't even realize it.
But what about non? He could be a non though.
Maybe Mr. Green knows something we don't.
Oh, Van Helsing can either give Mina forward or take CG. But you're right. What was it, Manchester? Oh, there's no. He's not guaranteed, Mr. Green. Stop saying GG and play. Oh. Oh, well, I'll tell you.
2.
Oh, no. Oh, never mind.
It's Galway after all.
Oh, he's saying GG well played. What? So then, is Manchester not a vampire then? What is happening?
Yeah. Ooh, careful, Drac. Don't reveal too much information.
Nice top deck.
Well, hey, man, when you're able to dig through the deck till there's only 15 left, and Dracula's rumored lair that could end the game is one space away from falling off the trail, I'd say that's a skill, you know? I mean, yes, it could have been different, and maybe he wouldn't have gotten it at all, but he was rifling through that deck from both ends. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he was milling
Yeah.
through that sucker. That's part of the skill expression of this game, is you're more likely to be rewarded with that sacred consecrated ground card if you can just tread water long enough to do it.
But have they both not realized
it was a custom
that?
search after all, too.
But have they not realized that Manchester matures first? I'm so confused here.
We're not to say anything.
No, we're not going to say anything, obviously.
Yeah, that needs to be considered by both sides, is that if this matures and it's not a new vampire, and it's a real vampire, Dracula's cooked.
Oh, look at the skill coming out here.
Hose. Yeah, well played.
Just to stop the devilish power.
Devilish power would be of no use at this point.
So the only saving grace here for Dracula is if somehow this is a reckless vampire or an aristocratic vampire.
That has to be it, and that'll win the game. Wouldn't it be funny if he said GG for me? Oh no, it's just a new vampire! That is insane!
Oh my god. Oh, Mystery says, "Ah, fuck." The trail, or now we can say it.
Mr. Green almost dropped the ball there.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And Van Helsing had
The
the
opposite-
steak the whole time. He's sitting there like, Dracula will be killed by a CG error, and completely forgot that the game doesn't work that way anymore now. The mature happens first.
Can you imagine the swag points that Fang said in the chat, GG well played, and then he
For
matures a
me.
rectus and went, GG for me?
Yeah, GG, man, that's it. I played a great game, sucker! That would be an insane way to win. But Mr. Green will get away with it this time. That's sneaky.
And honestly, like from my perspective, because I'm these are my opponents in the in this phase, and I was trying to work out like who would I want to win here to give me the best advantage. I've got a couple of wins over Mr. Green right now. We're now on equal games, but the problem is I would probably want Mr. Green to win this game, so then Fangs is not overtaking me, but the problem is I haven't played Mr. Green yet. So if Mr. Green beats Fangs and then beats me, then it's worse for me. So I think probably Mr. Green winning, but having one IDS victory, I think is probably the best case scenario for me. Oh my god. What is happening?
Wow, what a crazy game. Alright, everybody, I would love to have a longer discussion, but I've been broadcasting for about 3 hours now, I think. Closer to that, so I'm gonna go and get some sunshine in my life, walk around for a bit.
Touch grass and all that.
Stretch my legs. Yeah, that whole line. Exactly. So thank you, everybody, for joining. Really appreciate you. Jordy, Terminus, everybody who's watching. Scott, sorry for participating. Thanks again, you guys.
Thank you for streaming, Jar, as always.
Absolutely. Really fun games today. Really exciting ones. And so on that, I'll be signing off, everybody. And we'll